Hi there, Cosmic Family. My name is Yael in this incarnation. Today, the moon ended its passage through Aries and it made a contact with Chiron retrograde that is there. So this aspect could have, put in evidence a certain discomfort, aspects of ourselves or situations that are activating them, that are generating emotional discomfort. Whether this is, to be in contact with those emotions and to liberate them, or to learn to coexist with certain wounds instead of battling with, those identifications or with others, in the moments that are emerging, because that is also part of the acceptance of with Chiron, of the imbalances or the wounds that we are carrying. Later, the moon moved to Taurus, making a square with Pluto retrograde in Aquarius, and this could be a phase where we are in contact with this wheel of liberation. And this liberation, this freedom of Pluto in Aquarius has to do in a great extent with the expression of our authenticity that can only emerge when we are letting go of what doesn't resonate with that anymore. So it could be that this square, it is, exposing the excess of power that we are giving to certain experiences, or how much we are trying to control things because we are not trusting in the wisdom of life, in the higher consciousness that rules everything, that is in everything, and that we can also access when we are stopping and lowering the noise of the mind or the external noise. The external noise could be excess of information that are um, overcharging us, or the entity that we are giving to experiences that we cannot force right now to be changed. And clearly this is not something that necessarily is going to be manifested for everyone, but as these aspects are happening in the context of the activation of the eclipse that we are going through, and also tomorrow and today and tomorrow, sorry, the Sun and Mercury in Virgo are perfectioning the contact with the lunar nodes. This is part of the whole week, so we could feel in an intensified way these aspects. And these contacts that the Sun and Mercury are doing are a transformation of the ego, of the identity, of the aspects that are not having a function in our process, at least in the way that we were exercising them. And this could remove a lot of things. And if we add that many people are having difficulties to sleep, this adds more to the state of discomfort. That's why it is very important to attend the body, to be very, very connected with the body, to rest as much as possible. And well, for many people, eclipses are moments where we have to go inwards. If we were in an automatic pilot, they are pushing us to be in presence. So the contacts with the Sun and Mercury, with the South Node in Virgo and the opposition with the North Node in Pisces, are representing for many people this great clarity about what we need to let go of, to feel that they are flowing with their lives. If we think about the water that Pisces represents, this is not really an energy of effort. I am referring that, of course, in the practice, in the matter, clearly we have to take actions and to take a consistency to certain areas of our lives, even if we are not always 100% willing of doing that, or in our highest energy. But that is different than being in constant exigence and in battle. The North Node in Pisces is showing us that there are ways that can flow as water, but they require of our trust and our surrender to the unknown. And as I was saying, there are many people noticing the things that were stopping them to grow. For many people, this is about structures, illusory structures of thought. That they didn't have the abilities, the enough abilities to move forward to their dreams. This is very, very linked with the shadow of Virgo, that there is always something else that we have to learn, that we have to attain, as to feel enough, to feel ourselves enough to start certain projects or doing certain things. And actually that is a pattern. something that we are telling us, because truly there is a fear of not being capable. And then we can deepen in our own history to understand, from which places that is coming, because when we can observe from other perspective our past and the processes that brought us to this point, many times, that is very healing. But the most important thing it is that healing occurs in the act itself, in the choice of walking forth to where we feel we have to do so, even if there is no total clarity of the future, because truly for many people it is not about a lack of clarity. um, I am referring that they could have these tiny certainties of the moment or of the things that they need to do right now, they need to approach, but it's that uncertainty that truly is wanting to have information, exact information of the processes on the future. And that there is hidden the desire of control. So the North Node in Pisces is this invitation to relax in not knowing everything with our mind, but listening to our heart, which could be, a challenge. Which doesn't mean to get rid of every logical structure and thinking that everything is going to be solved by the universe if we know that we have a concrete decision that we have to take. But on the other side, if there are people that are feeling that they need to do a change, but they don't know how to do it yet, this is also an aspect to trust in that information is coming in the right time, while they are making the moves that their intuition is indicating. So, and that this process they are experimenting right now has a higher purpose, even if not all the situations in when we are opening to that purpose in different situations of our lives, independently of how we are experimenting them. Usually challenges are the phases where we have most difficulties, we have difficulties the most to perceive it this way. That's why opening to what life is showing to us, even if we don't understand fully right now, it is an exercise of unity consciousness. But not only that, this is the way that we can connect with that higher energy that is sustaining us, even if we cannot touch it. We are feeling it inside. It is the strength, the force that moves us to continue in different circumstances. At last but not least, in short, but already active, we have the sextiles with Jupiter in Cancer. So if there are difficulties right now to trust in life because the mind is creating those barriers, you can remember of other instances in which you had fears or uncertainties, and you were able to continue. You found other solutions or opportunities, even if it's not the same situation. And for other people, they are closing things that are very connected with the past, because this is also part of the South Node. But what I'm trying to say is that these are days of great opportunities with those sextiles that both the Sun and Mercury are doing with Jupiter, of bridges between the old and the new, experiences that we are leaving behind to move forward in other ones that are much more nourishing, and that they can bring much more inspiration or truly enthusiasm, with Jupiter. And for others, there is this possibility of reconnection with an inner truth that comes from their intuition, that brings this sense and this emotional security that they need to continue in their path. But remember that it is not about the transit, it is the choice of perception that we are deciding to cultivate. Thank you, everyone. See you in the next video.